Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I didn't take a trade at all. Uh, there's nothing to trade. If we kind of look here, let me make my chart a little bit clearer. But if we look for today, there is nothing to trade. I set up my volume profile, came into the market around 8 o'clock, and seeing this huge two candles here. Again, I use financial juice. I can't scroll back that far, but at the time, there's nothing kind of saying like, okay, there's something happening here, right? So I saw that happened at 7:25, 7:26, and coming in at 8 o'clock, I was like, no, I'm not trading that. So yeah, that's fine. I locked out my account. You can see here my balance is $692.62. I went for the 50% on the payout, so now I can only lose whatever I have left, right? Which is fine, right? We're still gonna trade fair enough or fairly good size. Not like crazy size, but initially risking $150 with our first entry, and then if we start adding, then we'll risk another 150 to maximize, wins, right? So maximum $300 risk on this account essentially gives me about two trades. See if we can get this back up. But I'm not really too worried about that. We got our payout. We're happy. We're really focused on passing the other accounts too. Just to kind of recap on these ones, we're about $850 away. On the lowest account, about $840 away, I guess you could say. So that's what we're looking for here. I'm not really looking for anything, but I did want to talk about the Stonecutters Creed. This is something that um, Ange Postecoglou of Spurs head coach, manager, um, talked about before we ended up winning the Europa League. But I also think it's very um, applicable to trading and in life in general, right? So let me read it first, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the Stonecutter's Creed or Stonecutter's Credo is a powerful metaphor for persistence and the importance of continued effort, even when progress seems slow or unseen. It emphasizes that the breakthrough moment is often the result of countless previous attempts, not just the last one. The idea is that the final visible breakthrough is the culmination of all the unseen work that came before it. And this is something that I kind of want to um, have be my motto throughout my trading career, throughout my life. But within the next couple of months or so, because coming into June, I did say that I wanted to fully change my life. I want to change my eating habits. I want to change my workout habits. I want to change my mentality, my mindset. I want to do all of these things. Yes, these things are going to help me become a better trader, no doubt, but it's really going to help me in life too. So, in life, these things are unseen, right? Whenever people are losing weight, whenever people are gaining muscle, whenever people are becoming better at a sport, most of the work is not seen. Most of the work is like not hidden, but people just don't see it, right? Because they're not with that person all the time. For my trading as of late, it's kind of been like that, right? And now I am documenting my journey on YouTube. I'm showing you guys exactly how it's going, but there are so many things that I have done to get to this point. I started trading futures back in November 2024, and it initially began with me learning about volume analysis, volume price analysis. Um, I've always kind of traded here and there, but I never really took it extremely seriously like I have now, right? So November 2024 was the starting point for me to actually take it seriously. And since then, I've been hammering away. I thought trading was easy if I just look for high volume on candles and just enter on high volume. That's what I thought. And I remember telling my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, I got it. I think I can do it, after demo trading for a week. right? At that time, I already had a lot of the foundations down of trading, like knowing candlesticks, knowing a little bit of patterns here and there, right? But once I started learning about volume price analysis for like a week, I was like, yeah, I got it. I can start trading. So then I got my Top Step account and then I blew it. And I was like, man, I remember that feeling. I'm like, man, like, this is harder than I thought it would be, you know? And they're just like, how do people pass accounts? How do people get to a point of being able to say that they are a funded trader, you know? How are people doing that? And I remember thinking that for myself too. I'm like, man, like, I want to get to that point. I want to call myself a funded trader. I want to have that certificate. I want to say that I've done it, you know? I wanted to say all of those things. I wanted to be that guy, right? But what happened for me to get there? I had to put in so much work. I had to put in so much effort, so much of my time, right, was spent on trying to refine my process, trying to improve on everything that I was doing, trying to um, really focus on the process, right? And we talk about the process whenever it comes to my wins and losses. In April, I had a really good process. I knew what I was doing, but when May came around, the process was a bit difficult for me because I was now shifting towards trying to earn more money, trying to gain more money, right? This day was part of it, right? But then we start going to the third week of May, that's when it really affected me, right? And we did bounce back. We were able to get out of that losing streak relatively quickly, but at the time it felt like forever, you know? But before then, back in January, you know, I was really struggling, right? I was trying to figure out what do I need to do to be successful? What do I need to do to be funded, right? February comes around, you know, end of January, beginning of February, I start figuring it out. I start trading well, you know, at that time anyway, for what I was doing. And I get funded, right? So the Stonecutter's Creed literally was me pounding away at that rock, pounding, 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 pounding. And finally it cracked a bit to where I finally became a funded trader, which was amazing, you know, absolutely amazing. So it was great, but at the same time, it's not the end goal, right? And in fact, trading doesn't really have an end goal. Trading is like a continuous journey. It's never ending until you want it to end. And for myself, that's exactly what happened, right? I cracked the rock a little bit, but that goal of getting a payout was not cracked. So I guess you could say that there are different rocks. To where the rock that was cracked and completely opened at that time was the journey of becoming funded, calling yourself a funded trader, getting that account, getting that express account, getting that certificate, being able to say that you're one of the 5% of traders that has passed a challenge and become funded, right? That's part of it. But now it's like, all right, time to get a payout. And at that time, what happened? I was like, oh, I think I can get a payout. I think I can do it. Um, $1,500 up on the account, trying to get a payout, right? But then I blew it and I never got my payout and I was out of luck. I paid $200 for in total the combine and the fee for the express funded account and I blew it and it was all gone, you know? So now what did I do? I took a step back, you know, I hammered away again and then come end of March, early April, we start this YouTube account, we start trading well, we refined our process, our strategy, and then boom, we got funded again, right? This time it was a lot quicker because we worked so hard. I blew my account in April, right? But then after that, 10 days later, I passed the account, was funded, you know? And then now, fast forwarding up until this point, we've had our first payout. So it's so cool to be able to get to this point. Now, obviously, I don't know everything. I'm still humble. I will continue to remain humble because I know if I'm not, the market will humble me. But it's at this point now where I have a lot more confidence, right? Where it's like, wow, like the money hasn't hit yet, but it's like, wow, you're about to get paid $700 from trading. You know, if I were to tell myself that back in December when I was really struggling, or January, where I was just trying to get funded, be like, wow, that's amazing. So now here we are. That $700 can be used to help pay some bills that I have. It's so amazing, on top of my job too, which I'm very blessed to have. So it's just about pounding and pounding and pounding that rock. There's so much work that you do as a trader that remains unseen. There's so much work that you do as a trader that people won't see, right? A lot of times it's up to you, but it's like if you post your profit and loss for the month and people see you up and people see you doing extremely well, you're like, "Oh, wow, like can you help me trade? Like can you teach me?" Or, "Wow, like I wish I was like you." But it's like in order to get to that point, you've put in so much work to be able to say, "Hey, I'm a funded trader." To be able to say, "Hey, I got my first payout." And then hopefully in the future for myself, hey, I got a $2,000 payout. I got a $5,000 payout. I got a $10,000 payout. I got a $20,000 payout. And it takes so much, but people just don't see it. And that is the Stonecutters creed. So, shouts out to Ange Postecoglou. Really hope he remains our manager. Um, I'm really hoping. I don't want Thomas Frank. But anyway, um, I hope you guys were able to take something away from that today. Um, I think it's really important that we continue to put in the work regardless of who's watching. And it'll definitely pay off. That's for sure. It'll definitely pay off. But yeah, no trade today though. No trade recap or anything today. We're still on the journey of 30 good trades in a row. Didn't keep that up. We are on the road to $25,000 in payouts. That's the lofty goal that I set for myself back in November 2024 to have $25,000 in payouts. Yeah, it's hard. It's going to be pretty hard to have, but we're going to go for it. We're going to do our best, and it's going to be a journey, that's for sure. So, anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you guys are trading well this week. Hopefully, you guys are having a good week so far. Hopefully, the price action isn't too crazy for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep trading stoically.